WrestlePod is supported by viewers like you. To support WrestlePod and the other programs on this channel, visit patreon.com/Ian Beaumont live and direct. Well, I survived NXT Takeover and Survivor Series, but how well did I fare in my predictions? And how well did I do against the WrestleTalk crew? We'll find out now on this edition of WrestlePod. Beaumont live and direct. This is WrestlePod and welcome along. Ian Beaumont here, good to be with you once again, and we are now just about a week past Survivor Series weekend, and we've had Raw and SmackDown since, so yes, I know I'm late to the review party. That happened like Monday and Tuesday, but it's what I do. I'm always late to any party. So, we go ahead and review what went down at NXT Takeover WarGames 2 and also at WWE Survivor Series, both of which took place at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's put the scores on the doors and tell you how it all went down, starting with NXT TakeOver WarGames 2. Okay, so let us begin this review of NXT Takeover WarGames by reminding you that only 4 matches were actually advertised, and there was a 5th. It had been advertised for the following Wednesday. That was Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno, but it got put right at the start of the card. And it was done in an unusual fashion. Matt Riddle came out and basically said, you know, we don't have to wait for Wednesday. We can do this right now. And Cassius Ohno came out and said, you want to do this right now? Okay, we will do it right now, but I'm going to knock you out. And what happened? One running knee lift by Matt Riddle later. 1, 2, 3. There you go. 6 seconds. Oh boy. That was weird. But it was a pretty hot way to start off the show. But I can only really give it 2 stars out of 5. For such a short match. Couldn't really give it any more. Next up, the first of the actual advertised matches, the 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Women's Championship. Shayna Baszler defending against Kairi Sane. Now, I managed to call 2 out of the 3 falls correctly. What a shame I got the last one wrong. I had 3 confidence points on this. I was pretty confident in my booking and in what I thought was going to happen. I was right to be that confident because it made sense. Mind you, this does make sense too. Shayna Baszler got help from Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke to take the first fall with a tap out over Kairi Sane. Very much as I expected it to be a tap out. I expected Kairi Sane to tap out and take the first loss. But then to come back, as she did, rather spectacularly, and collect that equalizing fall to take the match to the final section, as it were, at 1-1. Her doing the insane elbow to the three horsewomen outside was insane. And then to do that again to Shayna Baszler, to pick up the 1-2-3 for that second fall, the equalizing fall. Very good. I was a little off on the booking. I didn't really like the booking of that final fall. I did like the last moves, though. The last move of the elbow being countered into almost a crucifix, like pinfall. Very well done. But yes, Shayna Baszler did counter the insane elbow into a crucifix-style pin for the 1-2-3, meaning Shayna Baszler retained. Even though we had run-ins from Dakota Kai and Io Shirai, as well, to try and negate the advantage of the horsewomen. That was insane as well. So I guess we're getting like a 6-woman tag next takeover, first takeover of next year. The Royal Rumble weekend. That'll be interesting, I imagine. But yeah, Shayna Baszler picks up the win. No score there. Okay, so next up really is the grudge match from Takeover WarGames. Aleister Black taking on Johnny Gargano. I would have booked this for Gargano to win. I said as much on my prediction. Because I feel his heel turn needed solidifying. In the end, it may have been solidified even without that win. But done in a weird way, a bit of an unexpected way, to be fair. Yeah, I kind of surprised how, well, I can't say I'm surprised how good this was. I mean, if the last match was like a 3-star match, this was 5 stars. Everything else on the rest of the card after this was also 5 stars. It's like insanity. I've not seen a takeover go that balls to the wall ever. I don't think I've seen a pay-per-view go to that balls to the wall ever. So yeah. Really great storytelling in this match. Insane spots. And yeah, what more can I say? Aleister Black hits Black Mass. Gargano wonderfully just falls into his chest. Be like Black is kind of holding him up with just his chest there. And he says, "You are absolved of your sins." Hits another Black Mass for the 1-2-3. Oh my god. That was insane. Yep, 5 stars. What can I say? I could list every spot if I wanted to, if I could dig them out of my memory. You know what? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that justice. Go watch it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Seriously, it's worth it. But because this was the one I thought could go either way, I only gave it 1 confidence point. So, yeah, 1 point. Next up, the NXT Championship match with Tommaso Ciampa defending against the Velveteen Dream. This was a no-brainer for me, really. I said in my predictions video I would book Tommaso Ciampa to win it. I expect him to win it. He did win. But oh my god, Velveteen Dream almost stole the show. Again. From coming out a la Hollywood Hogan from WCW in the late 90s, you know. With an OVA in the NWO style shirt. I mean, as if to say over. Oh, dream over. Oh dear. It was insane. I have to admit, some of the moments that happened between these two were just insane as well. Nothing about this match was typical. Even Ciampa's heelishness was different to what he had done versus Gargano. Yeah, he did rip up the matting, but that never actually played into the match. I was surprised by how much character we got from both of these guys in the midst of this most insane match for the NXT Championship. I didn't expect it. And yeah, even though I'd thought that this was a foregone conclusion, there were a couple of moments when I thought, he bloody won it! 1, 2, no. But my god, there were a couple of moments when I really thought the Velveteen Dream was gonna win. So yeah, well done WWE, putting a little doubt in my head in the moment. That was good. But yeah, Tommaso Ciampa for the win, and 4 confidence points added to my score. So that makes 5 points. And lastly, for NXT Takeover, of course, the WarGames match, the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong taking on the War Raiders, Pete Dunne, the WWE UK Champion, and the NXT North American Champion, Ricochet. Only had 2 confidence points on this. I had to admit, I liked the idea of Undisputed Era going over once again, but I thought, no, WWE won't do that. They won't do 2 in a row like that. So what they will do was they will give it to War Raiders, Pete Dunne and Ricochet. And I must admit, the storytelling in this match was insane, with Bobby Fish being the last man out for Undisputed Era, going over to the opposition shark cage where Pete Dunne was still inside, with his own padlock and key, locking, and a chain, chaining up the door, locking the padlock, throwing away the key. Oh, that led to a silliness that a lot of people have found unforgivable, but I just went, the dumb Americans, what do you expect? And, excuse me. And, yeah, that was, it was pretty much, that was, I mean, it was a hell of a story, and the chairs with the Undisputed Era logo on it, oh my god. And then once the action began properly, you had the 4-on-4, and the match was actually official at that point. Oh my goodness. You had some of the most insane spots I've ever seen in a WarGames / Lethal Lockdown, which, you know, / even something like an Elimination Chamber, which is very similar to WarGames in that sense. They're both from the same germ, the same seed, as it were. But yeah, very, very much the match. I would say the match of the night, but to be fair, that would be unfair to Tommaso Ciampa, Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano, and Aleister Black, because they were all insane, especially after the after Ricochet jumped off the top of the cage onto everybody else, and the two teams sort of made their way into the two separate rings, and then they met in this no man's land in the middle. Oh man, that was insane. Great match. It ended with Adam Cole again, and Pete Dunne in a little sequence here, and also Ricochet at the end of it. Cole reversed the bitter end into a DDT, and then hit Dunne with the last shot for the near fall. He then went to attempt it again, but Dunne reversed that DDT into the bitter end. And then Ricochet, off the top rope, hit a 450 splash. Both of them covered Adam Cole for the win. That was absolutely insane. And yeah, really, really good. So yeah, I can't complain. What can I say? I have to give it like, I'm going to give it 4 3/4 stars overall. Because whilst you had Riddle Ono being an amazing little match for like 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds, however long. That was only a 2-star match. That would have to bring the average down. And even Baszler's saying with a 3-star match, yes, it would have to bring the average down, but the other 3 matches were so 5-star, so amazing that they kind of counter how bad, or not how bad, but how less good the other two were. So, yeah, what can I say? 4 3/4 stars overall. Amazing takeover. Best one of the year? Yes, I think so. Best one overall? Ooh, that'd be a tough one to call. Best WarGames match ever? It's in the running. Because I think it will give one of the WCW ones a run for its money. Yeah. Man. That was insane. So, with 7 points on the board, and 3 matches right, that was NXT Takeover. Now let's take a look at Survivor Series. Oh, God. This is painful. Not because of my performance, no. Because of WWE's performance. Look, I'll be honest with you. The booking here was a little bit screwy. In fact, the booking all weekend had been a little bit screwy. Because I saw this as a perfect opportunity to create a cross-brand storyline. They didn't do it. They did not do it. They didn't even come close. And they really, in my view, screwed up some of the matches so badly that it pains me with some of the booking. Let's start off with the Tag Team Survivor Series match, Raw vs. SmackDown. On the one side, on Raw side, you had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, the Ascension, the Revival, the B-Team, the Lucha House Party. On the SmackDown side, you had the Usos, the New Day, Sanity, Gallows and Anderson, and the Colognes. By rights, this should have been SmackDown. At least 3 surviving teams, if not everybody. Because Roode and Gable and the Revival were probably the 2 that were gonna get eliminations, I felt. But the rest looked like also-rans. Compared even to Sanity. I mean, the Colognes are probably were the nearest thing to what the Ascension, the B-Team, and the Lucha House Party were in that match, I felt. But to be, they booked it so much closer. And I wasn't comfortable with that booking. I mean, first of all, eliminating Gallows and Anderson. Again, I wasn't comfortable with that. But I thought, okay, if it ends up being Usos and New Day holding on, I'm good with that. No! Although, I can't complain too much about how well Bobby Roode and Chad Gable and the Revival looked. They looked amazing. They actually looked like they belonged. Well, Shane Raw had not done that for them before. But But yeah, really weird that the Usos were the only sole survivors for that match. Wasn't happy with that booking. Though, to be fair, as I said, I liked the way the Revival went at it. I liked Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. They just felt like they were weighed down by everybody else who looked like they were jobbers. Facing up against, in my view, 4 of the better teams on SmackDown and the Clones. 4 of the better teams in WWE and the Clones. All on SmackDown. So to see SmackDown barely win out, I did not like that booking. But I was happy to take the win. The 8 confidence points I put on it, plus an extra bonus point for getting the Usos right as survivors. So yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. But of course, that kickoff show match then did not count for the scoreboard on the rest of the main card. And I was like, what? That was screwy. And that was the other thing that really stood out to me about this booking, was the fact that they'd screwed up so badly that nothing they could do to undo that. That nothing they could do to undo that was going to work. It was always going to highlight how badly they screwed up. Sometimes you can cover up a botch with better camera angle or a good call can cover up the botchy nature of a move. This was a whole storyline that WWE botched, and they just could not cover up the stink of it. So yeah, the Tag Team Survivor Series match, great on the kickoff show, but the kickoff show didn't count for nothing. So why should I ever watch another kickoff show ever again? Come on, WWE, answer that one for me. So let's get into the main card with the Women's Survivor Series match. Now, originally, as you're going to see from this graphic, it was advertised as Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya, and Ruby Riott to take on Carmella, Asuka, Sonya Deville, Naomi, and the 5th person to be confirmed. Oh boy. First of all, Natalya and Ruby Riott couldn't get along. They had a backstage fight on the kickoff show, which led to Alexa Bliss deciding, you know what, I'm not putting up with this. And then asking Sasha Banks and Bayley to be the 4th and 5th team members for Raw. That's weird. That's weird. And then when I said I thought Nikki Cross would be SmackDown's 5th person, no. It was Mandy Rose. It was the obvious one. Again, this booking just felt crazy. So, of course, interference from Banks and Bayley didn't happen. Which I would have done in my booking scenario. I would not have had them in the match. I would have had that Natalya, Ruby Riott situation play out in the match. But obviously, knowing what we know, now WWE weren't interested in doing that. They wanted something else. So, yeah, Raw won with Nia Jax as the sole survivor. I gotta say, I feel a little bit sorry for... I mean, we did have a section where Asuka and Sasha Banks had quite that little one-on-one bit. They gave it plenty of time in the match, which was really great. But to have Nia Jax, who was being booed mercilessly by the crowd for having busted Becky Lynch's face at the previous Raw. Oh man, every time she got in picture, every time she got in the ring, the boo boys rained in. Oh man. Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, she ended up being the sole survivor. Huh? Crazy booking. What can you do, though? What can you do? Yeah, I just did not like this situation at all. So, yeah, that was the start of what would be a 6-0 run for Raw. And honestly, I hated it because it just felt like it was done totally to humiliate SmackDown. And that was all it was for. And the story didn't play into Raw or SmackDown really at all this week, so it made no sense to do this. Why? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It was insane. Okay, let's look at the rest of the card. So, next up was the one I had the least confidence in. Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins taking on US Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. This was one of the few matches where I love the booking, because it made total sense. Neither man had met before, so of course the early stage of the match was going to be a strong feeling out process. It was a long feeling out process. And Shinsuke was going to play mind games, of course. And Seth, I love the way Seth actually did what Shinsuke's taunts back at him. That was good. That little, come on. I love that. That was so good. But yeah, the storytelling in this match was great. To me, it didn't matter which way. I would have booked it for Shinsuke to win through heel tactics. But Seth ended up winning as I predicted. With a stomp. With a blackout. So there you go. But only one confidence point, because honestly, it could have gone either way, and it wouldn't have mattered. It was a good match. I think my candidate for match of the night, that one. Yeah, I think that will be match of the night for me. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Best match of Survivor Series. Who'd have thunk it? Next up, Authors of Pain. The Raw Tag Team Champions take on Sheamus and Cesaro. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I had this booked right. I just didn't have confidence in WWE. I would have booked Authors of Pain to win. I didn't think WWE would do that, primarily because, they're relatively new, and Sheamus and Cesaro are well established. Yes, they didn't need the win, but I thought they were going to get it. And you know what surprised me with Authors of Pain actually getting the win, thanks in part to a distraction but involving Drake Maverick pissing his pants. Probably the worst booking decision of the night. I literally did not like that. That one moment. I did like Drake Maverick trying to get away from, I think it was Cesaro on the outside after he'd put, was it Razor's foot on the bottom rope after Sheamus caught him with a brogue kick. And Cesaro just came round after him, and Drake ran to try and get away and just ran into the immovable object that was the Big Show. Boy, fell over. That was funny. Big Show picking him up by his throat and him pissing his pants. That was not funny. That was sad. Even sadder was the fact that it distracted both Sheamus and Cesaro, allowing AOP to pick up the win. I do not like that bit of booking. But I would have booked Authors of Pain to win. I would have done it in just a less humiliating way. So yeah, I booked it right. I just didn't have the confidence of that booking. I was like, nah, Sheamus and Cesaro will be who WWE go for. But surprisingly, no, they didn't. Cruiserweight Championship match was next. Buddy Murphy defending against Mustafa Ali. I had 7 confidence points on this because I thought this was almost the other big lock of the night. Buddy Murphy retaining. Proved to be the case. I won't say it was a bad match. It wasn't. It was a good match. But it's hard to say it felt like a standard match you would find on 205 Live, because I'm not sure that it was. But it didn't feel that much above like a standard 205 Live match. And for being the only match on the Survivor Series card where a title was on the line, rather than just bragging rights, I think it needed to feel a little more special. But Buddy Murphy did what he had to do and defended. So there's not a lot I can say about it, really. I mean, as star ratings go, I'd have to give it 2.5 out of 5 in that sense. It was just a decent match. No two ways about it, but nothing special. So next up is the men's 5-on-5 elimination match. For Raw, you had Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley. For SmackDown, you had The Miz, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy. This was perhaps my most confident Raw victory. Although I didn't quite predict how strong Raw would be on this one. yeah, I gotta admit, a little bit of a surprise here. I would have done things slightly differently. But in the end, Raw had Strowman, McIntyre, and Lashley as survivors. So yeah, 3-0. And the fact that they had like 4 of the 5 eliminations of SmackDown superstars come at the hands of Braun Strowman, and the fact that the Raw team really weren't getting along at all, it just made the booking made SmackDown look like chumps. I didn't like that. I really did not like that at all. So yeah, bad booking all around. Didn't like the fact Samoa Joe was eliminated quickly. In storyline, it made sense because the Raw team recognized, oh, he's the big powerhouse. He could be dangerous. He has to go first. Yeah, I totally get that. Totally get it. I would have preferred him to have survived a lot longer. I would have. I mean, I knew Finn Balor was not going to survive because he's been booked horribly, but he did have a good match segment. Actually, with both Jeff Hardy and with Rey Mysterio. That was really good. I'm glad he got a decent amount of time. But no, I was not happy. I mean, I was never going to be happy with this booking anyway. But man, that was criminal almost. The way they just decimated SmackDown so quickly at the end there. Didn't let her at all. So even though I got, 5 points from my confidence points plus correctly predicting both Strowman and McIntyre as survivors, Lashley joined them. Score 7 points there. It was a good result for me, but booking wise, I was not happy with the match at all. Penultimate match, it is the women's match, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Ronda Rousey ended up winning via disqualification. No interference, no setting up for 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. You really missed the boat there, WWE. You should have gone with that idea. But yeah, Charlotte Flair snapped, did a Becky Lynch, and just brutalized Rousey after the match. It was a good match. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match, but really, oh man, and the weird way the commentary team tried to sell Charlotte Flair snapping like that, especially Michael Cole's commentary, was way off. The motivations were clear. We knew what was going on. Yeah, you really missold that at the end there. But yeah, Ronda Rousey winning by DQ. Charlotte Flair disqualified for using a kendo stick. Wow. Didn't see that one coming. I mean, I won't say the booking was bad. The booking was not bad. It was a bit out of left field with that kendo stick shot, and was like, whoa, where did that come from? But when I realized what was going on, and Charlotte was basically doing what Becky would have done, I thought, oh yeah, now this makes sense. She's trying to out Becky Lynch here. And get a spot in her good books. Maybe to then set up something further down the line that is 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen. But the booking was just weird. I didn't get it at all. Lastly, Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. I admittedly would have booked this as a real clusterfox. And I thought WWE would not book it quite so heavily as a clusterfox, but has still run interference. No. This one proved to be a very different beast altogether. But I did correctly predict that Brock Lesnar would win, because of course he was going to. And yeah, 4 confidence points on this one. I'm not surprised. Although, to be fair, a couple of occasions I thought Daniel Bryan was actually going to win the match, but no, didn't happen. And you got a bit. Lesnar in that yes lock. God, the panic in his eyes. The sell job he did on that was amazing. But yeah, this really was the match of 2 halves. The first half of the match was Daniel Bryan trying to avoid Brock and then getting caught and getting absolutely destroyed. Or so we thought. But Daniel Bryan kicked out from F5, which was unusual. Then Lesnar goes for second F5. Bryan lands it, but during the F5, he accidentally kicks the referee, because he's not in, the referee's too close, and he gets hit by Bryan's legs as Bryan's trying to land without falling into the F5 properly, and that gave Daniel Bryan just enough time to hit the low blow, and just enough time to turn the match around completely. And I thought, oh my God, what are we seeing here? It was insane. It wasn't quite WarGames insane, but it was insane. A couple of times, as I said, Daniel Bryan almost looked like he was going to pick up the victory. But once Brock realized he could break the grip of the yes lock, that was fine. He got out. Hits an F5 for the 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Brock Lesnar. So, 28 points overall from Survivor Series, taking my total to 35. And in the Wrestle League, well, I think I'm in equal with Luke Owen at the moment. We both got 7 matches right, 3 from Takeover, 4 from Survivor Series. So, equal with Luke Owen, but I'm behind the other 2. So, yeah, I'm going to have to step up my game for TLC, I think. It's Luke Owen, Ollie Davis, Laurie Blake, and I'm right on your tail. Don't think you're going to get away from me too soon, because you're not. You're always saying, support, Wrestle Talk. Ugh. You guys, you've got over 600,000 subscribers. I got a measly 33 right now. You're not, you should be squashing me in terms of Wrestle League, but I'm right up there with Luke Owen. I'm gonna be right on your tail for as long as I can, because I think I got you pretty much. You're in my sights, and I'm not backing down, and I'm not letting go. So if you're up for it, Wrestle Talk, I will see you at TLC. And then, let's have some fun. But that's it for WrestlePod. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with more shows very soon. Till then, stay sharp. Stay tuned.